Today we're going to simulate a fire that I went to just recently in a garage. They had a 50 amp plug in the garage. They tapped in Romex to the garage and ran off some plugs, and they left the 20 amp wire on the 50 amp breaker, which is a big no-no. And then they ran cheap extension cords and they didn't have any heat in this garage, and they were living in the garage, and they had multiple extension cords running from multiple heaters and blow dryers and other stuff, and one of the cords broke down and started, because they weren't the neatest people in the world, they had some paper there, and it caught the garage on fire. So we're going to try to simulate this with 3 heaters and a blow dryer and see how long it actually takes to get this wire hot enough to start a fire. I'm not really sure if it's going to be 15 minutes or an hour. So we're going to ready start this thing up and time it and see how long it takes to get cherry red on these cheap extension cords. So I have this cord temporarily to simulate the 20 amp circuit that they had run in the garage and everything tied to it. And they just tied it in, doubled it up on the 50 amp breaker like we're doing. So now we have a couple heaters going. And a timer going.
Oh yeah. So this is warm and getting soft as the rubber or plastic or whatever this is lined with gets heated up.
This extension cord is rated for maybe 10 amps at the most. 15, 20, we have about 30 amps running on this thing right now. So that's, I can't emphasize enough, if we had a 20 amp breaker in there for the right size of the wire, this wouldn't happen. Put the right breaker in. More people have fires from bad wiring than get hurt from shocks. People are all worried about getting a shock. This is the stuff that you have to worry about. Improper wiring, the heat, the connections. I've been doing this for 50 years. I don't mind a little shock, but fires kill people. Oh, it's sparked up again. What's happening is the insulation is breaking down. There it goes. There it goes. It burnt. We had our fire. And it didn't blow the breaker. It just melted the wire all the way through. The power is still on the breaker. Still hot, boys and girls. Look at that, melted on through. That thing just melted. Still hot. I'm going to shut the power off. That could have easily started that bag on fire. This was a good simulation. Took 5 minutes of improper extension cords, cheap extension cords, and too much of a load on the circuit, and improperly wired breakers. This wire is, can't even touch it. The rubber is just melting off this wire. The power's off now. It just melted and sparked out, and it's just melted together. So here we go. We're going to start up the heaters. I'm trying to overload this circuit. Cheap extension cord.
4 minutes and 30 seconds right now.
We got smoke.
Where there's smoke, there's going to be fire. Smoking pretty good. Oh.
I'm going to put the hose on. How many minutes do we have going now?
6 minutes and 55 seconds.
6 minutes and 55 seconds. Cheap extension cords. Oh, not the right breaker. I can't say enough. It's not getting shocked. It's heat. Heat is the problem. The right wire, the right breaker. Heat is the biggest problem with electricity. This is down and dirty, baby. Burning some shit up.